Today I wanted to show you guys the two most useful knots to know for when you're camping. Now there are thousands of knots out there, so I wanted to choose two that had the greatest variety of uses. They're simple to learn, simple to remember, simple to untie. And just a little disclaimer, they're not the strongest knots out there, so don't go mountain climbing with these or perform life-saving operations or anything. But for general camping usage, tying down tarps, tents, rain flies, hammocks, those basic kinds of things that you encounter 99% of the time when you're outdoors, these two should cover most everything you run into. So the first one we're going to talk about is the double half hitch. It's called the double half hitch because you basically tie a half hitch and then you tie another half hitch. Easy peasy. So imagine you've got a solid object like a branch you want to tie the rope onto. You have the rope wrapped around it one time. So your first half hitch, you go over and then back underneath. Okay, so that's one. And then your second one, you do the same thing again, where you go over and then back under. And then when you pull it tight, it's a nice tight knot there. We'll do that one more time. Starting with it wrapped around once, you go over and under, and then again, over and under. Tight knot. Now the same thing happens. This is horizontal. Imagine if you're tying to something that's vertical. Just picture that. It's the same thing, just vertical. Start the same way with it wrapped around once, over and under. And then again, over and under. That'll tighten up on nicely. Now, let's say you want to make this a little bit stronger. Say we were tying a hammock up to a tree. We're going to have weight pushing down here on the rope. So what we want is more friction on the tree. So instead of starting off with one wrap around the tree, we would do a second wrap. Okay? So that extra rope there is going to just create more friction on the bark and help give it a little bit more strength and bite into it. And then you just start from there and just do the same thing again. Over and under for the first half hitch, and then over and under for the second one. And there we got a nice strong knot that's going to hold up. Double half hitch. And then the other one we're going to learn is if you need to tie two ends of rope together. This one is called the square knot. Real simple. You know the first step. When you tie your shoes, imagine you have two shoelaces, right? You start with the right side. You go over and under. Well, now instead of tying up the bunny ears or whatever you do in the next step, we want to do the same thing we just did, but starting from the left side here. Starting from the left side, we will go over and under. Nice tight knot there. So we'll do this one more time. Starting on the right side, we're going to go over and under. And then from the left side, over and under. Now this isn't just for tying up two separate pieces of rope. You can have a single piece of rope and tie the two ends together. So let's say your belt broke and you needed to make a makeshift belt out of a piece of rope. You can wrap that around your waist, do your over and under, and then from the left, over and under that way, And you got the square knot that'll keep your pants up. Also, if you got to tie up a bundle of firewood to drag back to camp, something, there's a million uses for this square knot. So those are the two you really want to know, and in my experience camping, they'll get you through 99% of your situations. There's a bunch of other ones out there, and if you guys want, I could always go further, deeper in depth and do more in further videos.